Welcome back to Cinematic Cravings. Today, I've got a piece of news that's going to get you seriously hyped. One Piece Season 2 is coming in 2026. Netflix has finally announced the new cast, and some choices are absolutely legendary, while others will make you go seriously. We've got new characters, surprise names, and controversial picks, and we're breaking it all down together. But before we dive in, I need to say this. I spend hours preparing this content, so please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It only takes 3 seconds, you lose nothing, but it means a lot to me. So don't be selfish, hit those buttons. Let's get started. Michaela Hoover as Tony Chopper. Netflix has finally revealed who will be playing Chopper, our adorable reindeer. Tony Chopper will be portrayed by Michaela Hoover, known for her roles in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 and Beef. Hoover won't just be voicing the character, her facial expressions will also be captured through performance capture technology and transferred directly onto the CGI model. This shows that Chopper isn't just going to be a visual effect, he's going to be brought to life through real acting. Bringing an iconic character like Chopper into live action is no easy task. He's funny, emotional, and sometimes even jumps into action, so portraying this tiny doctor without losing his cartoonish charm is absolutely essential. The CGI model we saw in the first teaser looks promising, but the real challenge will be how well Hoover can convey Chopper's pure yet powerful spirit. If she pulls it off, he's on track to become one of the most beloved characters of the season. Charithra Chandran as Miss Wednesday. Charithra Chandran from Bridgerton as Vivi. Well, she definitely has the noble look down, but the real challenge here will be if she can break from her refined, posh vibe to go toe-to-toe with the Straw Hats. Vivi has to be royal and relatable, scrappy yet elegant. Will Charithra's transformation feel authentic or forced? This casting has potential, but she's got to bring a grounded yet wild energy if she hopes to capture fans. Sendhil Ramamurthy as Nefertari Cobra. Sendhil's work in Never Have I Ever proves he's comfortable in a more laid-back, stoic role. But Cobra isn't just any dad. He's a king torn between duty and family, all while keeping cool in the chaos of Alabasta's political turmoil. Can he bring out Cobra's paternal warmth without coming off as an emotional bore? Ramamurthy's in for a tough challenge to make this stoic, often stressed ruler feel as engaging as he is important. Seagal as Dr. Kariha. Casting Sons of Anarchy's tough-as-nails matriarch as Dr. Kureha is actually kind of genius. But Kureha isn't just tough, she's straight-up eccentric and agelessly wild. Seagal might nail Kureha's tough exterior, but can she deliver that high-energy I'm 140 and I'll outdrink you any day vibe? Fans will want to see Seagal pull out all the stops on this zany doctor, or risk Kureha feeling like a mellow, less memorable version. Mark Herilik as Dr. Hiriluk. Herilik's work is solid in serious roles, but he's stepping into one of the most tragic characters in One Piece. Dr. Hiriluk's a mad scientist with heart who's not afraid to stand up to tyranny. To nail Hiriluk, he's got to capture that mix of tragic desperation and undying optimism. Get it right and he'll be unforgettable. Get it wrong and he'll be the series' cringiest character arc yet. Daniel Lasker as Mr. Nine. Lasker, coming from the intensity of Raised by Wolves, is now playing a guy who uses gymnastics to fight with zero superpowers. Mr. Nine is more about bravado than brilliance, so Lasker's got to find the balance between earnest and foolish without making Mr. Nine a complete joke. This is a minor character who could either be a memorable comic relief or just end up as the season's most forgettable casting. Camas Johnson as Mr. Five. Known for Batwoman, Johnson's used to action, but Mr. Five isn't just any action character. The guy can turn his boogers into bombs. Yeah, that's right. Can Camas bring the cold, slightly unhinged energy needed to make a man with exploding snot both deadly and somewhat dignified? Let's hope he leans into the insanity, or this might just feel awkward. Jazera Jasine as Miss Valentine. Miss Valentine floats on air and has a smile as dangerous as her fighting skills. Jazera Jasine from Warrior will need to bring charm, humor, and a tinge of malice to this character. Miss Valentine's not a heavyweight villain, but she's got to be amusingly sadistic to really land with audiences. It'll be a disappointment if Jazzara doesn't bring the playful, sociopathic energy needed to make Miss Valentine fun and threatening. David Dastmalchian as Mr. 3. With a solid background in offbeat, twisted roles like Late Night with the Devil, Dastmalchian's perfectly suited to play Mr. 3, the wax-obsessed artist with an ego the size of the Grand Line. Mr. 3 is supposed to be both frustratingly arrogant and oddly lovable. Dastmalchian has the talent to nail the character's weirdness, but if he doesn't bring enough ego or comic absurdity, he might miss out on making Mr. 3 as infuriating as fans expect. Werner Kotzer as Dory. Kotzer's got the ruggedness, but can he pull off a giant warrior with a soft side? Dory is as much about brawn as he is heart, and it'll be all too easy for Kotzer to lean on the intimidating aspect, while forgetting the goofier side of this lovable giant. If he and his fellow giant don't have chemistry, we'll lose one of the most heartwarming dynamics in One Piece. Brendan Murray as Brogy. Another giant, and this one has to match Kotzer's Dory. Brendan Murray needs to bring a warrior spirit with the same warmth and chemistry to make this duo truly lovable. If Murray's performance is too serious, or worse, overly goofy, Brogy's character could feel flat or unbelievable. Dory and Brogy are a pair. If they're not in sync, they won't resonate. Clive Russell as Crocus. Russell from Game of Thrones as the quirky, flower-wearing Doctor of the Seas? Crocus isn't your average doctor. He's zany, wise, and oddly friendly with a massive whale. Russell's got the acting chops for eccentricity, but if he doesn't embrace Crocus's whimsy, this casting could end up feeling oddly mismatched or uncharismatic. Callum Kerr as Smoker. Smoker's a hard-nosed Marine with a sense of justice, a bit of an anti-hero. Kerr will need to bring the intensity and a morally gray edge to the role to make Smoker feel like a true One Piece tough guy. If Kerr plays Smoker as too straightforward or bland, he could become another forgettable Marine rather than the badass we expect. Julia Raywald as Tashigi. Tashigi is a determined, slightly clumsy Marine swordswoman who idolizes Zoro's old master. Rehwald, with experience in the animated world, needs to ground Tashigi's mix of earnestness and mild klutziness to make her likable rather than annoying. Play her too over the top, and Tashigi risks being seen as comic relief rather than a formidable Marine with heart. Rob Colletti as Wapol. Wapol's one of One Piece's most hated villains, a spoiled and cowardly king who eats literally anything. Rob Colletti has to bring the sniveling, laughable arrogance Wapol needs to be convincingly detestable. If he's not ridiculously pompous and annoying, he risks turning Wapol into a forgettable villain instead of the hateable buffoon fans remember. Tai Kio as Dalton. Dalton is reserved yet intensely loyal, and Kio needs to find that quiet strength to make this character memorable. Dalton's stoicism is key, and if Kio doesn't bring the right mix of grit and sincerity, he'll be overshadowed by flashier characters and leave Dalton feeling one note. Joe Manganiello as Mr. Zero, Broker. Manganello brings a menacing presence, but Crocodile isn't just brawn. He's got to exude a cold, calculating ruthlessness. Joe's got to deliver on the charisma and intelligence that make Crocodile such a standout villain in the series. If he plays it too straight, fans could end up disappointed by a lack of the trademark Crocodile menace. Lara Abova as Miss All Sunday. Robin's introduction is crucial, and Abova has to capture her enigmatic and deadly charm. Miss All Sunday needs to be mysterious, confident, and cool. If Abova doesn't balance her intelligence with her danger, we might lose the allure that makes Robin such a fan favorite. All right, we've gone through the entire One Piece Season 2 cast and all the details. Some picks are amazing, some still debatable, but one thing's for sure, this season is going to be insane. So what do you think? Did Netflix nail it or totally mess up? Drop a comment and let's talk. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications because a lot more is on the way. See you in the next video. Take care.